us in, nah, nah. I got knowledge, I got wisdom. They're my friends, nah, nah. Let us in, nah, nah. Let us in, nah, nah. I got knowledge, I got wisdom. They're my friends, nah, nah. Fuck being humble. I'm on the ready coast. I'm feeling this for way too long.
Hopefully you can see me.
Bitch, I'm tired of being
We back, yo.
Another beautiful weekend.
You already know,
You know
man.
what it is? Soul Butter.
Sound!
Alright, so today we gonna go straight into it. We talking about shapeshifters. We talking about the angels, the demons, the skinwalkers. We getting into all that today.
And to the weirdo shit, fam.
Yeah, the weird tinfoil hat, crazy man stuff. And you know, we want to talk to see if it's just all a myth, all a metaphor, or you know where it came from. So he's known about this. We have conversations, have been having conversations about these kind of things over the years, forever, bro. You know, we give our ideas, books, documentaries, movies, whatever. And I thought it was an interesting subject to bring up when we see what's going on now in the world, like current events and stuff. So it does come full circle. We're not just talking. So first I want to start off with, you know, like what is that concept like of a skinwalker or a shapeshifter?
I believe that the origins stem from images that start off in our mind, first and foremost. Because, remember, we are, what is to say, like a whole being. But that whole being has many different forms.
So, alright, in Native American lore, there's even a place called Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I don't know where it is, but look it up. Skinwalker Ranch. I seen there's some documentaries on it. But that's like a Native American thing. That term, Skinwalker. But you know, it's been called other things. Angels, a witch doctor turning itself into a dog or something like that.
A jinn.
A jinn, yeah. So you say it's just images in our mind, so it could be just people say they seen these things. There's been reports of them, and they were afraid of them. So it's like you see this entity, or what is perceived to be in your head, basically. You saw this person do something you've never seen a human do before. So in your mind, you interpret it as something special, something supernatural.
Which it could be, but the thing is, like, what I believe also, like, because it's a double-edged sword. Like, you're also, this could be their true form, like, on a different plane. But the thing is, on this plane, we have humanoid forms. So you're seeing, oh, this werewolf, or you seeing this beastly figure, and that could be him on a different plane, but you're see, like, it's only shown as that person, you know.
I believe that, and the trauma of seeing that on the other side, you seeing that, could lead you to just, I don't know, I guess the body's natural response to do is just like when you're in a dire situation, say you get cut in the leg, at some point your body gives off endorphins or dopamine to help you, you know, deal with that pain. You seeing somebody in their true form, which I believe to what it could be, that does something to your brain. You're gonna tell yourself, I didn't just see that.
Well, in most cases, like in most societies.
Yes.
Unless you're in a society that accepts those kinds of things.
That's another interesting thing. Do you think society does accept that? Because the fact that we're talking about it, the one that we live in, and
definitely not.
And that's why we're yeah. Will they ever accept it? It can't. I feel like it can't go on if they had to accept these things. That's why you do get the negative connotation. Like what I also wanted to bring up with this topic too, which we'll expound on, It's like this isn't all negative. This isn't some spooky. Oh, you can hide the kids. This isn't that. The same power that they use, we can tap into and do greater things. Your Bible says that, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I thought it was interesting. And do we see people doing that in our society every day, but we just call it something else, use a different term for it? We had an interesting conversation before we started this, where you were saying like one of these people, we saw their true form, and that, yeah, and I'm like, is that? And he was like, he just tapped into more of what he really was. And I was
Yeah,
like,
that
man,
thing was always there, and I was also explaining. Well, no, we're not gonna go there because that has nothing to do with the subject.
it might, bro. But the fact that like we're actually seeing these in pop culture, in politicians,
Yeah,
but it's like it gets such a bad rap that you're insane. When people were talking about reptilians and stuff years ago, I feel like that was more of a metaphor, and you didn't really hear too much details. Somebody tell you they're into that kind of stuff, you're just gonna look at them like, bro, you are not credible with anything if you're basing your life on this.
because people who say those like reptilians and all that shit, they don't know what that actually means.
Exactly. I've come into, I'm sure as you have too, come into contact with people who believe these things. Then the more you talk to them, you realize they don't know about any of this stuff.
Yeah, they just go by what they hear. They don't actually study any of it, and so they don't know the actual, um, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Esoteric meaning behind the thing.
Mm. It with that the cult in this country is more of like it's a sham. It's I'm seeing it now as
It's
like
hogwash.
a clown circus of people trying to profit off it, profit off of people's stupidity is
Yes.
what it's become. You
Yes.
got movie. What was the movie? They had a whole franchise of like the paranormal people collecting all that kind of shit. Ah, damn, I forgot the name of it. Insidious or something. It was based off real people, like a couple that went around. Like
Oh, wasn't that? I think that was Insidious.
that's the name of it. It
Was
was
it
a whole
Insidious?
series. If whatever it is, leave it down in the comments. That just shows you that we kind of been there, done that, and watched all these and looked into it. It was based off a real couple, and they were basically just like,
I actually like the ones that were based on the couple,
mm-hmm.
but yeah, it
they
was.
were they were a real couple, and from what I researched, they knew that they were just it basically became a way for them and their family to eat.
Eat bread, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like they were mocking it, but when it comes to that kind of stuff, you don't know what you're really getting yourself into. That's the trick of it. You think it's just, oh, it was fascinating at first. You get into it, it becomes a second nature to you to just that's your livelihood, that's your career. But the meantime is summoning forces that you didn't get into detail about. But that's
Yeah.
another story. So
Yeah. Correct your life.
yeah, you can. And so we talked about the doom and gloom of it. Like what can you do? Like I don't know where I'm going with it, but I feel like it's not all bad. It's nothing to be afraid of.
What do you mean the power?
Yeah, if there are people that shape it, if there are, like you said, it's from another dimension. You're seeing another form, and you out there, that could be you. You could have a whole other
Yeah, you
form
could
of
be
you.
the shapeshifter, nigga. You
Yeah.
don't even know it. And that's why people don't understand you or
Mm,
they're afraid of you or some shit. Like, they see something in you that you don't see.
mm. And that's where I wanted to bring this, like to this point where, what if you are? Like I'm pretty sure if you've been listening in the past few minutes, you might have something to you if you haven't just clicked off the video yet. So you might be that shapeshifter, that werewolf man, that monster. But it's not how media or stories and folklore have portrayed it. And at the same time,
It is.
it is. He's saying it is like that.
It is and it isn't. Because, like, modern media has, like, made it like a circus. They made it like you're supposed to. With flashing lights here, pow, I shoot a laser, yow. Like, and the thing is, for all we know, you could do that at some point if you really believed it. But the thing is, right now, you have to understand the mechanics behind all this shit in the first place.
Mechanics. You said something interesting earlier, bro, where you were talking about, we talk a lot about, financial things like the black hole. You said,
Mhm.
what are we going to do with money? We have all the money in the world at this point. We did all the stuff that we've been talking about doing, generational wealth, all that run to the ground type of shit, bro. So what happens when we get that? What happens when we have community? What are we going to do? I think this is the type of things we need to explore. I
That's the
mean,
real
that's
question.
what niggas, not the niggas, but that's what the people around the world. What do you think they're into? You think the Nazi party with just a bunch of broke niggas? No, people were putting money into that.
Yeah.
They study eugenics and things like that. Why don't we do that? We're a community. We're all connected. Niggas in Atlanta, niggas in Florida, all connected like we BMF and Big Meech or some shit.
I mean,
Well,
but
what are we gonna do with our money? Just buy shit, or are we gonna look into
I
the
mean that's what
obscure
they do
thing?
right now, and that's so. If we did come together as a community, all right, we back like cook crack.
Yep. So
We were what were we talking about?
you were bringing up a point. I think it was pretty good. You were like, we have scientists.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. Before the thing cut off on me, we have scientists. We have all these things to be our own community. It's just that these people work for other the other people, and and I was also saying not necessarily their fault
Right.
because the other people are the ones who have all the money to do all this research. Most a lot of black people ain't doing that shit, and the ones with the money, they ain't really on that shit.
They're
They
having freak offs and things of that nature with the money. And
some of them,
and then they're doing the right thing,
yeah,
taking care of who needs to be taken care of.
yeah. We don't know
Trying to do
like
something
what Robert
progressive.
Smith is doing.
Yeah.
Like Robert Smith paid for a whole classes thing. Like I don't know if he like got underhanded shit, but like on the surface he do great shit.
Yeah, there are a lot. We should talk about those who actually do a lot more. But when it comes to things of like this nature, you could like go to school and study these type of topics. Like that's a real degree, like in occult studies or even hell, even UFOs. You can study that. You can become a professor for that. And you think it's a cultural just not being interested in that kind of stuff, not being what your boy Bobby said. We not read the things, like we don't. It's just we're just boring. I always thought that, but then again, that's just me. That's my opinion.
But we were taught to
Our
be
culture
boring.
is pretty boring and just.
How you were taught to be. That's how slavery told y'all to be. They told you forget your gods, worry about this one nigga. Who who is a god in only one country out of what, 50 something? Probably 60, 70 something before that.
They tried to take him other places, and it went real bad some places,
Yeah.
real bad. Ask the Japanese. What happened when them boys tried to come over there with that? Alright, but so you think it's just not having interest in it, and this isn't a good or a bad thing. It's just something we both find interesting that we don't.
At this point, yeah, it's not necessarily good or bad because at the end of the day, you're gonna be controlled by somebody, bro.
Mm.
Like if you let yourself, you're gonna like people who ain't on the science for real. They gonna let themselves be controlled by somebody, whether it be politics, whether it be from music, politics, some type of pole it takes. Pole addicts.
Mm.
Some type of pole, bruh.
That boy dropping gems in real
Pole
time,
attacks,
man.
nigga.
The etymology of that I never broke down, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Pole that is, and I can relate. I've done it. I'm pretty sure in the past you've done it too.
Yeah, bro.
Where you just damn. So with that being said, like, okay, we know it's not a good or a bad thing, but where would you even start if you wanted to, as a community, explore these things, or is that even? Because people have given lectures. There's a whole community of people who spoke on things like this. Black people who spoke on this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, what's the end result? What's the finish line? What's the grand climax of this? This
If it actually works.
we have to get to the point where we can even see if it works. Like it's a real thing. You can put money behind it. You can put scientists behind it. But it's like, where does it lead to? Not only the people who don't really fool with it, but it's like the higher ups. They see a bunch of niggas trying to get into this, and they're spending money trying to get scientists and hospitals and doctors into this kind of obscure thing.
But you know what?
Do you think that would even be possible in America for that to happen?
They kind of do the shit now, though. They put all type of. They put the science in all the kids' shows. Like, they're teaching the new generation to break free.
That's what I was just thinking. Thought came in, like, I feel like the generation after us, or the younger people, are the ones that are really gonna.
They're gonna get it.
They're gonna. I think some of them already get it. You ever
Some.
talk to a young person, and some of them just they just on it like that, but then it's some that's just
Nah. You know what? It's the generation after Z, because them Z niggas are.
So what, like what
Them
would be
them
the,
young niggas, like the young niggas, maybe like the ones like 13, 13 to like 20 and shit. I'm like, they're cool.
That's what I'm saying. Those like the teenagers, like
Yeah,
to
but
20.
I don't
now.
think that's still Gen Z.
I'm
Or
not
that's the
even
lower
sure.
end of Gen Z.
I thought Gen Z was like maybe 25 to 30 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like what are we?
What are we, millennials? No, are we? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
millennials.
The niggas stuck in the middle. We've seen both sides of it.
Yeah.
So it's like we not just talking crazy. We were there when all of this started. So it's the ones after are just like the more turned up versions of what we experience.
Yeah, them niggas born in 93, 94. I ain't talking shit. You know what? We're done.
Yeah, but you know, like, okay,
Yeah.
so you said it's already started. You said it's going to happen, but you know they say revolutions don't happen until hundreds of years later. So you feel like exploring those type of things will happen.
It's already happening.
It's happening now.
The people who are on this shit like we are, they're teaching their children this shit and hopefully doing it correctly, not giving in to the phone craze and letting other things raise your picnic. But I mean, other than that, I mean, all we have to do is keep doing our work, because as the spirit told me a long time ago when I woke up, the war's already won. So we just have to keep doing our work, bro.
And that's how we do it. As long as you keep on doing the work, it'll happen. So when I was saying like it's not all like this scary thing, because the definition of it is like an angry shaman, what the Navajos believe were skinwalkers, were angry shamans putting stuff on people. I mean, what about the shaman that wasn't angry?
Mm-hmm. And it just did his job.
Yeah, he just did his job, right? What about that? We gotta start looking at those stories for what they really are.
I mean, it's the same, but even on a lower level, it's the same way that we even as the black coat attack our own people, bro. because we attack our people based on the one-offs. Like I was saying last week, we attack all this shit based on the one-offs that we're given on the news and all this shit. So now we're like, oh, the black race. Oh, I can't believe that we doing this, we doing that. When it's not necessarily everybody, it just be that one weird person or those few weird people in your city or in a city. Because there's always going to be some weirdos. Like, no place is perfect. That's just the law of yin and yang.
Like you had that clip of that dude we were talking about. You was watching on your laptop. Of the dude they had on the news running across the street.
Yeah.
And you were like, I hope he isn't black. I hope he isn't black. And you see that he happened to be black. You're right. Because at the same time growing up, we met a lot of like black people that were open-minded, that weren't always trying to kick niggas while they were down or whatever. It was like 50-50, man. And you have to remember that. Yeah, you know, I forget that sometimes.
The thing is, it's so easy to just live in the negative, and it's hard to stay positive, bro.
Right. That's why I wanted to explore like this wild and out there topic. Probably not to you guys, but it could be like, why are niggas talking about this kind of shit? But I wanted to explore the positive parts about it. You know, how it isn't all bad at all. What it, the origins of it. So, yeah, bro.
You have any other takes on
it? I mean, that was really it, man. Like it was easier to explain than I thought. It was just like, yeah, it wasn't as, it doesn't sound as crazy as I thought it would to be talking about that kind of stuff on camera. You know, like I kind of started getting back into that, like reading stories about people having abductions and stuff. And what I found out, like you said, it's just it's a mental thing.
Yeah,
you're tapping into stuff from other dimensions, but from what we were taught growing up, you'll say it's, you know, an angel. Like our culture, you know, we're all describing a lot of the same things, but instead of looking to what is this really, we attach our terms to it. Oh, it was a little gray man, the aliens, and then you come to find out some of these people who claim to have been abducted, they say it's a whole new ball game. They'll say Jesus will come in the room, and then the aliens will come take him and shit like that, and do all kind of crazy stuff to him. So it's like they don't even believe that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, like, it's a two-sided coin, because it could be some spiritual shit, or you could be like, say, like, somebody puts you under and shit. Like, you could be, like, dreaming and, like, having, like, a vision or something. And so your vision is you seeing Jesus, and then you getting abducted by aliens. Then you have to figure out what the vision means. Because obviously that's not real.
Yeah.
That doctor is not Jesus, nigga. Like,
and then it's like, the reason, it goes back to why we even bring it up, because it's like, that.
Alright, we back, man.
We back.
Guess who's Bacc?
Still spell the crack on my clothes. What did he say?
Like ice cream I was cooking.
Them O's, bro. Didn't he say don't make me have a relapse on you?
Yeah.
Bro, that was Jeezy or Jay-Z. They were on that same song together.
No, Jeezy has never been on Guess Who's Back, nigga. Stop playing with me, nigga. You disrespectful. That was Jay-Z, that was Beanie Siegel. Was Freeway on? Nah, Freeway wasn't on.
You know what it was? It was a time period where they were doing songs together, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like when Jay-Z starts talking like that, I always picture Jeezy's like coming up the next verse after or something like that, bro. But anyway.
Nah, see, I'm mixing up rhymes. That's what happened.
Who said I was still cooking the moles? That was Jeezy.
That was Jeezy.
I was cooking the moles. Well, who said I had to
re-up, gotta recycle the flow.
All right. So we had a good we kind of had like a good conversation while we were like booting up and stuff. He had to change a couple things, but
Yeah.
I was thinking of something like the Amazon, for example, like the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
I know that like it's not inhabited, even the ocean, not just space, but there's some parts that humans just can't go. But there's always a trailblazer to make it to the little parts. Like say the Amazon, there's a part where you can't a trail. Somebody had to blaze that trail. Somebody had to go there first.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a whole other part of it that we haven't explored yet. But somebody's gonna have to.
I mean, do they have to? I
I
mean,
believe you
they'd
should
want to.
just
Let's say
leave
they'd
some
want
stuff
to.
alone, maybe. But
No, I mean,
because it,
some people could want to explore it, but it's like necessarily, who are you to make a trail through that place or try to inhabit a place that is probably inhabited anyways?
because that's the purpose. They were only trying to get into it might start pure with the scientists and like people who study wildlife and study organisms and ecosystems. But then you got the niggas with the bread. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but we want to build a McDonald's in this bitch or something
Exactly.
like that. But I was saying that to say like,
Or are we
with
gonna put on the tinfoil hats? Or that same rich person could be sending in the scientist as a decoy to look for what that hidden tribe really got. Let's be honest.
or if there isn't an uncontacted tribe in there. What
There's
about
some artifact or
it's stuff
something.
going on in those jungles that
We putting on the
yeah.
tinfoil hats, yo.
No, like think about it. Like,
No, but it's real. It's
yeah,
real.
these are real
We
things.
saying that, but
If you're
it's real
familiar
talk.
with that, like I'm pretty sure people who are watching this, even at this point, this podcast, you're into other stuff outside of just the regular. Like you probably are into nature and animals and things, and you know how that is. Like tribes, certain tribes would dedicate their whole mythos to like certain animals.
Mm-hmm.
Not just to say that. Like, damn, what were we saying? Like, you said it's a mental thing, and I gave the example of a tribe, cutting themselves with the alligator skin to
Yeah,
make
that
their skin
African
tougher.
tribe.
So, say if you never dealt with something like that, right? And you seen them when they're in their mode where they're hunting or, gathering, where they really tap into that animal that they, try to personify.
Mm-hmm.
They tap into it and say, me and you are seeing it. We never been out here before, so we already on, in a whole. Oh, this is just amazing. And you see these people hunting, fighting off a crocodile, and did the nigga turn into that?
Mm-hmm. You see a
Because,
crocodile with a spear in his hand.
yeah, and it's like your mind can play tricks on you, but if they've developed the attributes to a point over time, it's in their DNA. Their fathers were doing this, and they might have perfected it. To us, this is a crocodile with a spear,
Mm-hmm.
but we might have dimensional shifts, things of
Yeah,
that nature.
mentally he personified that crocodile, so spiritually he is that crocodile.
And these might be the things that you said that these people with bread want to look into,
Mm-hmm.
even if it isn't a
Because they
tribe.
want to know how to master that shit and become that shit.
New species out there. What if there's new species? And they also, you see the movies like Congo, whatever, where they're looking for like artifacts or like looking for.
Let's be real though. There ain't no new species. There's just unknown species.
That they haven't discovered yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
They just calling them.
how do you? It just goes. It's so many things to talk about. We could just go on for hours with this, bro. Cause like you said something too. Why even explore that? Why not just leave it alone? Cause all it relates to what we were talking about earlier: the UFOs, the skinwalkers, the occult. Why even entertain that? Just leave it alone. Just if there's uncontacted tribes, leave the artifacts. We don't need any of that. Just leave them to their jungle.
That
Leave space alone.
Or
Leave the
if-
ocean alone.
I understand the yearning to want to know more, but some of these people want to know more so they could use it to oppress people, and that's the wrong I find.
Thank you. You really broke that down.
Because if you really wanted to go and like explore this untapped place or something, you could go and do that. you don't have to try and invade people's space and then try to dig up everything that they've ever like done in their life.
Gas might not come back,
Hey,
but you can go do it.
yeah.
You can leave a journal at least. What was the guy who tried to go to that uncontacted tribe and
What,
try
the
to?
Agori tribe?
No, he tried to go preach. This was a couple years ago. You know, like he came on a boat. He held up the Bible and they shot his ass with spears.
Oh
You know,
no.
he's trying to spread Christianity, but you know they all they saw as a white man with books, and to them, you know how I just described the alligator man with the spear. Imagine you never seen people outside of your skin color before. Now you see a pale man or a blacker man than you, a humanoid, just come up with a book trying to. He don't speak your language.
Yeah. No, not
What-
only
what
not
is
only
this?
that, he's coming to try and make you forget about the God that you serve.
And he doesn't even realize it. The rabbit hole gets deep on this one, guys. He doesn't even know what he's doing, or maybe he does.
No, he knows what he's doing.
Whoa.
He's trying to make you convert. That's why he went over there, right? That's their whole thing, make you convert.
But some to the defense of most Christians, they believe that they're doing a good thing, a righteous thing by going over to these people who haven't seen humans that color on that type of boat pull up. Like, I mean,
Are we doing this for Jesus?
yeah, we doing it for whoever ours. You ain't, nah.
Amen.
I'm already scared, but like.
But that's where it comes back to respecting people's space, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Respecting people's space, bro. Like, you serve your God, they gonna serve theirs. What's the problem?
And
If what the Christians say is true and it's all one God, isn't the God that person serves God? Especially if they have the same attributes. Like, let's be real. They're just calling it a different name. Same way the Muslims call God Allah. But when Christians hear Allah, they're like, oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like, it's just a different name for him in a different language. Like, what's the issue? Because it's not something that you know.
Wouldn't the God understand that?
Exactly.
Well, isn't he all loving, all knowing?
I would think so.
That's what it said, from what I remember. It said that. But
I'm tired of poking fun at him.
Yeah, at this point you kind of are, bro.
But it's true.
But it's true things, and
like,
I think that's a part of both our traumas, like, because we grew up around this.
yeah.
So we're constantly always seeing that veil just being torn off us every day.
Yeah.
We were actually those Christians that, would have been preachers or ministers, and we would have gave our lives to that. So you're going to hear that kind of trauma dumping every now and then. But at the end of the day, man, like, should we, like, is there a universal law that, like, doesn't allow us to go into that? Or maybe it's certain people can. If you have a pure heart, you can explore those things.
Pure heart explore what?
Just these obscure topics. These, like, we're talking about the Amazons, the occult, space, territories where humans don't go because we want to know and we want to explore. It's in our DNA.
Exactly. Like, what's been taught to us unknowingly is there's some part in our DNA of seekers of knowledge,
And
knowers.
I think you said this. You said, what is the reason you want to do it? That's the key. That's probably why some of it has failed or hasn't been explored, because people want to use it to, exploit. It has been, yeah. So if you have maybe it's those with the pure hearts can, enter. It's like that Indiana Jones shit, where all the niggas tried to take that jar. I don't know which one it was, but all of them died. Like, the Knights Templar dude was protecting it, but he, for some reason, was able to take it, and nothing happened to him. Only the pure hearts can enter. Every mythology, every science says that. So maybe that's what
Message.
it is.
Message.
Amen.
Message.
We'll be back.
message. I'm getting channels while doing that.
Back again, my friends.
Yeah. So, what's today's mathematics, God?
Mathematics of the day. The science of the day. It's May 18th. So that's going to be power, knowledge, build, destroy. Let's start with you. What does that mean to you, my brother?
Knowledge, power, build, destroy.
Especially,
I think today, even on camera, you know, we
see,
we
all
came
this
with
goes back to that though too. That's funny. Not to cut you off, like, cause what we talk about, it always kind of relates back to the subject that we talk about.
and
For
we don't.
today.
I don't try to.
Yeah,
I'm not
that,
trying to like. I want to completely pull something out of somewhere else with this, but it literally comes back to what we talk about. So I guess there's some synchronicity in that. I don't know, bro, but
hey,
what I got about it is, we came with a lot of knowledge over the years. You don't really get to talk about these kind of things amongst, people of our age and, So, we came with the knowledge and we built on a lot of things today and we destroyed a lot of things. We destroyed the idea that these are strange topics. These are, you're a fool, you're an idiot if you believe these type of things. We destroyed all that and we built on the fact that, how to get into this. Where do you start at? See it from a different lens instead of just always the black and the white. The skinwalkers, that's some crazy stuff. The crazy shaman man. Ooh, you got a demon in you. You need an exorcism. See it from a different angle. Study, know thyself, right? Know your psychology.
look at the things that you're into, all that good stuff, and study those things and the mythology of like tribes who like worship those things and see how it relates to you because it probably does in some way, form, or fashion, or even not even necessarily things you like, things you may have a deep fear of.
Damn, that's. Whew. We could have a whole other about that. So,
Which we will on
yeah, we will. That's an
week,
interesting topic
maybe
right
next
there.
week or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. That's a good one. So that's what I got out of it, man. Even doing this and talking about this on camera today, I've been able to destroy some things. We were even joking saying, "Oh, we're gonna put on our tinfoil hats and our ill-framed wrestling belts and be crazy today." But nah, just listening to what he had to say, some of the questions I asked, some of the things I had to say, it actually makes sense because we're looking at it from a we've been unbelievers, believers. Now you gotta see somewhere in between, and so that's what I got out of it. What about yourself?
For me, with power, knowledge, build, destroy, like how we were just talking about, like how every week it relates back to somehow it relates back to the day. Maybe we're dealing with the God of that day,
Who is the God of today?
Whoever's the God of May 18th. I have no idea. You tell me.
I don't know either. But maybe that's something we have to build on.
Maybe we'll just call them power, knowledge, build, destroy. It's just numbers right now. Yeah. I mean, these people don't have no names till we put names to them to try to explain them off.
Whatever that spirit, that energy was, it flowed through us today, and we used it to do something other than make people live in fear and scare the living crap out of them or make them go crazy.
Yeah.
It was used to spread information, enlighten.
And even if you like put the day together, 1-8, that makes 9, which is born. So now it's power born, because power can be born from this knowledge of not having fear of what you're seeing and trying to more so understand it, other than trying to write it off as some bullshit. Because as I always say, like everything you see, everything you hear are messages for you to interpret, and how you interpret the message is all based on you. So you may misinterpret shit that's supposed to be some real shit because you're trying to write it off as something else.
Yeah, exactly. It's a practice that you have to keep doing.
Yeah,
And you
bro.
know, we still are young. What the Egyptians say, you're not an adult till you in your 40s, man. So
Yeah, bro.
like, let's keep pushing. Let's keep doing that, man. I honestly felt like this was powerful, even being able to talk about it. So I'm just appreciative to be able to have this conversation. Those that's viewing, we got another week of content. So
Cathartic.
yeah, it's I always feel so enlightened doing this every day. So I just wanted to say that on camera so people could see that this
Mm-hmm.
is therapeutic and cathartic for me, as it is for ill, to be able to do that this consistent. So
Yeah,
it's
bro.
power in that, and hope, and I know you watching that, getting that power too. So you do that, whatever you good at, whatever you do, spread that to somebody else that's willing to accept it, and
Yeah.
doing the work, man.
Let
You
us
doing
all
the work,
build, bro.
we're building
Let
right
us
there.
build and destroy all the problems that we've had today, bro.
Hmm.
All the problems we know today, we destroying that shit. All the things that we know is supposed to rise up and do and build upon, we building on that shit.
And we
No
not
more
just
talk.
talking about
Yeah,
it,
no more
and
talk.
you not just talking anymore either, man. So
Yeah,
it's a
so
beautiful day, bro.
you already know. It's been your boy Il Moldune,
BSR KEM.
and we out. So by the sound, we
Gone.
out.
Cooking the moles.